Welcome to my first impressions video of the Seiko Save the Ocean King Turtle Manta Ray edition. It comes in the standard outer box, but then located within is the special edition watch box, which is quite nice. It's the same as what came with my special edition Samurai. It's a cardboard box, but it has this nice blue trim here with the Seiko logo. Has the Seiko Prospect Save the Ocean. As I do with all my first impression videos, I take all the plastics off the watch, I size it to my wrist, I have a quick look, and then I bring it in here to tell you what I think about it. Firstly, that dial stands out straight away. It almost shimmers in the light. It has a very slight 3D effect to it, which probably gives you that sort of shimmery feel to it. It looks like it's almost a gloss type surface as well, and it has that blue effect turning from lighter blue to outer darker blue, and you can see those manta rays there swimming in the background. I'm a bit of a fan of manta rays, so it's quite nice to have them on a watch. What I do have to say, my initial impressions of that dial is it's lovely, but it's actually quite small. If you look at the overall size of the watch, and then you bring it in and you bring it in and then you bring it in, this is the only part of the watch that has that lovely look to it. So it's smaller in real life than I expected. When I stick it on camera like this, it looks quite big, but realistically it's quite small when you take away the case, the bezel and the inner chapter ring. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing, I'm just mentioning it so that if you're looking at this watch, you can get a little bit of an appreciation of it. It has the Cyclops on there. I'm not a huge Cyclops fan, but it's okay. It certainly works. There is a slight QC issue though with it. It certainly sits a little bit wonky. The bezel as well is slightly off. You can see it's slightly misaligned. But neither of those really stand out when you're sort of wearing it, I don't think. Let's see what happens in the future. Those indices seem to be applied, which is quite nice. I'm guessing the lume is going to be amazing on this watch. The bezel action, it's quite nice. It's very muted again, but it's also quite easy to move. I could probably move it, yes, I could move it with one finger. It's not, I wouldn't say it's loose, it's just relatively easy to move. But it certainly feels nice. Certainly no black play, no other movement with it. The case has a couple of finishes on it. There seems to be like a polish on the side and a circular brushing all the way around the case on the top. And oh yeah, unsigned. That's okay. I personally prefer unsigned crowns depending on the watch. This watch has got a lot going on anyway with that dial. Probably don't need any extra fancy bits on the side. It seems to be a fairly standard bracelet that comes with it. It fits quite well. There's a little bit of movement, but not much. It's a solid bracelet. It looks like a 3-link, but it's actually just the one solid link. Sort of a brushed surface on the sides and middle with a slight polish bit in the centers there, which you can see those two centers. It does have a rather annoying pin and collar system. There's sort of two little sleeves on either side of the pins. So when you push it through, one sleeve comes out, you put it back in again, and it's a little bit fiddly, a little bit annoying. I think there's a few other systems that work a little bit better. But saying that, now that it's set to my wrist, I don't think it's ever going to come off, so it's definitely secure. The clasp is okay, it's brushed, it's got the Seiko logo, got 4 micro adjusts, which is quite nice. The sides are polished, which then fits in with the rest of that, I guess. Now this watch recommended retail price in Australia is $995, Australian dollars obviously. I certainly didn't pay that for it. However, for a $1,000 watch, that's pretty bad, isn't it? And there we go, the standard case back. I think we're all pretty used to that nowadays. Anybody who's owned a Seiko is going to have something similar to this in the collection, but it does say special edition on it. And there it is on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. Certainly fits me quite nicely, so the lug to lug must be rather stubby, because it's quite a big watch, especially because of how the case sits out with that cushion case turtle style that these guys come with. And a quick wrist shot for you, how it sits on my wrist. It's quite good. Weight distribution feels quite good. It's a little bit top heavy, but that's okay. Very pretty dial, isn't it? Alright, thank you very much for watching my first impressions video. Stay tuned, I'm going to keep this on wrist for quite some time. I've got quite a few other watches that are being reviewed at the moment, so I might actually get a bit of wrist time with this one prior to doing a full review. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you do. I'm trying to put out a couple of videos per week, so there's lots to see, hopefully a little bit of information that's interesting, hopefully I'm slightly entertaining. But hey, if you subscribe, then hopefully that'll motivate me enough to keep going, and I'll keep putting videos out. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.